Hi guys, it's Susie with Adaptive Mobility Services. Sorry to be a couple minutes late. I'm actually on my way back from my client's house and needed to pull over because I said I was going to get on at noon. I pulled over. I don't know if you guys can see where I am. Let's see. Can you see? I'm in Pottsville and I am in front of Yuengling Brewery, America's oldest brewery. Our claim to fame, and it's just the town over from where I live. So just thought I'd point that out. That's kind of fun. Okay, so this morning there was a really great message from one of you guys on the chat box about turn signal, crossover turn signal adaptation. And it got me thinking about how to explain when an OT can recommend something versus when a driver rehab specialist is needed, and how to differentiate the two. Because it sounds simple, right? Someone has difficulty moving their arm, so maybe they need a turn signal crossover, or somebody has difficulty moving their arm, and so they need a spinner knob. But the reality is, even when it sounds simple like that, you still need the skills of the driver rehabilitation specialist to make sure that's exactly what the individual needs and to make sure they're licensed properly in their state to use that. So, sorry, let me do that. So here's how I differentiate the two. And this is, I'm curious, other specialists out there, if you agree, disagree, if you have a different way you approach this, please feel free to, step up and let me know. But here's how I address it. When it comes to driving in the car, the role of the OT, an OT can address anything preparing to, leading up to, getting into a vehicle. As soon as we go to turn the engine on, I consider that to be the space of the driver rehabilitation specialist. Let me explain that a little bit further. So as OTs, we can work on navigating a threshold, planning our trips so that we have everything we need, managing a purse, loading a walker in and out, using a handy bar to help with the transfer into and out of the vehicle. We might even talk about or recommend cushions for seating and positioning, or something like a seatbelt pull to help make it easier to put on a seatbelt, or even a latch. There's different latches that help to put the seatbelt on. But as soon as we go to turning on the engine, shifting the gears, turning the wheel, those are the scope of the OT driver rehabilitation specialist. So in my mind, this is how I keep it really clear. Anything that's needed before turning on the car can also be within the scope of the OT. As soon as we turn the vehicle on, though, and we're talking about something that's going to be used during the occupation of driving, during the task of driving, that requires the skills of the driver rehabilitation specialist. I'm going to take that one step further. Okay, so the lady I was with this morning, wonderful woman. She's a nurse. She has MS, and it was impacting her legs. And so we've been exploring and training her to use hand controls. Perfect, right? She uses her, let's see if you can see it over here. I actually still have it in. She uses her left hand to push the brake and then pull back to go. But because she's using her left hand for this, we don't want her palming the steering wheel. That's not necessarily safe. So we're going to use a spinner knob. Okay, so that she can then use the spinner knob to turn the wheel. Okay, now based on the individual, that might be enough. They might still be able to use what we call the OEM or the original turn signal and get to the other pieces that are needed, like the horns and the wiper. But for some people, they need a little bit something more, like a crossover turn signal, or like a spinner knob that has the Bluetooth buttons on it. So the driver rehabilitation specialist needs to be there to help problem solve what is needed. It's interesting because as soon as I start introducing the turn signal, there are some people it's very natural for them. They can pick that piece of equipment right up if they need it. But there's other individuals who, as soon as we put the turn signal on, and my habit is put on the piece of equipment that we need, practice it in stationary, get the motor pattern down, then practice it moving straight forward. But there's still some people, when you start moving, they let go of everything and they go to move the turn signal. Well, that's what we don't want, right? We don't want people to kind of panic and think they have to have the turn signal on and reach for it. So part of what I do as a driver rehabilitation specialist is not just introduce them to that equipment, but let them try it, train with it, and make sure that it's the right piece of equipment for them, that it's positioned in the right place. The other thing is, from the question this morning that sparked my thought process was, it's not just a turn signal, right? So this individual, I know you followed up and wrote a little bit more about, had a traumatic brain injury and has hemiplegia. So it's not just the turn signal that we have to think about, but access to the horn, to the wipers, to the headlights. And we need to be able to get to these things readily, consistently, and safely with driving. So from my perspective, and again, I would love to hear your opinions if you agree or disagree. If you agree, please comment. If you disagree, please comment. I love a discussion around it. But my thought process is this. For an OT generalist, you can address anything related to preparing to the task of driving, leading up to getting into the vehicle. As soon as we go to turning on the engine, though, and we're talking about things that are used for the task of driving, like a turn signal, like steering, the gas, the brake, even if you need special mirrors for the task of driving, that is the scope of the driver rehabilitation specialist. Okay, I hope this helps to clear it up. I'd love to get your impressions on that piece as well. And I'd just love to hear from you guys. So let me know, first of all, are these little snippets of videos helpful to you? Are you gaining information that you're able to use in your practice or just expand your understanding? If they're helpful, please comment. Also, I would love to hear from you if you're watching this live or on the replay. So in the comment section, please make sure you note if you're listening to it on live or the replay as well. Okay, guys, we're having a beautiful day, but it's a cold 28. I'm thinking since I'm parked here, I might run in for a minute. There might be a cool surprise in the Yingling gift shop that I can pick up. I'm preparing for, in a couple weeks, we're going to do a couple giveaways and a few fun things there. So you never know what's going to show up for those giveaways. All right, have a really great day, you guys, and take care. And hey, shout out, Colleen joined us at the end. Hi, Colleen. Hope you're doing good and that beautiful baby's good. All right, you guys, make sure you comment. Let me know if this is good, this is helpful, if you agree or disagree, and have a really great day. Take care. Bye-bye.